Alright folks, good afternoon. As quite a few people know, we give away and gift and that, a lot of stuff. Whether it be for kids or veterans or just somebody that the Lord puts on our heart that day. He always gives us plenty, and so we always share. I figured me and grandson needed some fresh new shiny rod holders, so I made a couple of fresh new shiny rod holders. So I wanted to just do a short live here on. Sorry about the wind, we're outside. How to use these things.
Cow.
Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous.
We're outside, that's why.
But we got some really soft dirt around the side of the house, and at least it should still be pretty soft. So I just want to do a short demonstration on how these things actually work.
Hold on, his boss showed up. Not seeing any chats. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I'm playing around because... How do I go back? There we go. Sorry. I don't have my... There's the chat. I think. How's everybody doing today? His boss showed up, so he's yammering at his boss for a minute. Phone is inside, so I can't.
So these holders are made to go in at an angle. They're not made to go up and down.
See if I can get a good view of it. We're still cleaning up debris from the blizzard around here, and this is where a water line was replaced, so we're going to use it.
This is as soft as dirt as we're going to find probably around here, so this will be a good test on what these things are actually made of.
Kind of chilly today. We would have rather been fishing, but got a couple rod holders to build anyways.
Okay, so this is a 7-foot 10-inch meat hunter. This is my Black Blank Patriot Edition. I'm guessing it's a heavy. I honestly don't recall what I actually ordered, but meat hunters are made down in Arkansas or northwest Arkansas. They're made right here. They're not shipped in pre-made. They make them right there at the factory. They'll do whatever color you want. They'll do whatever length you want. And if it's a 7-foot 10-inch or shorter, they'll do it in one piece if you want. They'll put your name on it.
I don't know if I can get that. It was doing blurry stuff.
They'll put your name on it. They'll do just about any color scheme that you want. Whatever weight you want. They'll even make you some ice fishing poles if you're into that sort of thing. when it comes to customer service, I don't think there's anybody better than Charles Kirk when it comes to customer service.
Guess I should focus on him and not the ground, huh?
But these things are made to where your pole just kind of sits in a cradle. And I've been trying to work a little bit with the actual cradle part so that the rod sits in it just a little more comfortable and a little more flat, because the original design I did, the rod didn't actually sit flush in the pipe. It only touched at one end of it, and so I wanted to do it a little bit different to where it would sit just nice and flush in there. But I'm also going to test out the strength of it today, not just how it sits in the ground. And again, this is pretty soft dirt. But this is a Pin Squall 20. I honestly haven't read on how much drag it has, but it is quite a bit. And just make sure that it's good and tight. I don't want to break it, but I want to make sure it's good and tight so I'm getting as much drag as I can get out of it.
How you doing, Chrissy?
And then you might get a little springboard action. My line's a little frayed right here. I haven't touched this rod since the fall. But we're just going to see if we can get this thing to bend or to pop out of that soft dirt. But I don't think either one's going to happen.
Tango 270 says, I have a Pin Squall 5000. Great rod and reel.
Huge pin fan right here. As far as I care, when it comes to bait casters, there's Pin and then there's everyone else. We're gonna, if I can keep from poking myself. Matter of fact, I think I'll just get a little bit of line out so I know that it's not frayed.
Stand in the sunlight out here, it's not too bad. About tired of this winter air.
Your rod does not come out of this. You can even lay it down at a lot more angle than this and it's not going to come out. Like I'm pulling almost straight up on this thing. It ain't coming out of that holder. But now I'm gonna see if I can get it to bend. I'm actually gonna pull up on it just a little because I want to try to pop it out of the soft dirt.
Testing one of the rod holders if you guys are just popping in.
Is it bended?
I don't think so.
I'll tell you what, that is really hurting my hand. I don't know how much pressure that was, but I know it was digging into my hand right through my sleeve of my hoodie.
This is a reaction tackle line that we use.
So I'm going to give it a second and I'm going to try it again. But that rod holder did not bend and it did not pop out.
Here, hold your phone for a minute. I'll be right back.
You go grab it.
Camera.
Tango 270, I don't even know how big a Pin Squall 5000 is. But I know that this Squall 20, I really like it. And I was really putting some pressure on that line just now, and that is I believe that's 65-pound line. Just by feeling it, it doesn't feel like the 100-pound that I usually put, but it that drag didn't give. I might actually had it locked down too much, but more importantly, I was trying to make that rod holder either bend or come out of the ground, and I thought it might actually bend it this time, because the last time I tried this, the drag just started coming out, and that was it. But I was putting some pretty hard pressure on this thing, and it wasn't giving at all. But we'll try this again, see what we can do. I want something to give. If my hand can take it, I want something to give. Ow, son of a, ow, it hurts. Can you see the end of the rod? That rod is stretching, y'all. Oh. And that is hurting my hand, but it ain't nothing giving. I put some nice grooves in my sleeve, but nothing gave.
See, I'm not seeing all the comments. Tango had made another comment. Pin is great. I'm a saltwater fisherman. I don't remember how to make the comments catch back up. We're still new to YouTube for those of us you that don't know us.
There's one.
Okay, now it's caught up.
Yeah, I know the most popular reel is probably the Abu Garcia series, but
Pointed at the ground.
I'm actually pointed at the reel, but I don't know. I have a little different taste than some folks, I guess, but like I like the Abu 7000s, but I think that their smaller reels are way overpriced for what they're capable of doing. These pin squalls are way under $200, and they got just astronomically better gears and drag on them, I think. I think the only advantage the Abu really has is that it casts a lot smoother. I think that's about it. I think the Pin is a far superior reel other than that. But I could not get that thing to bend. I was stretching it pretty good, but I could not get it to bend. I'm going to try it one more time. I know that that line is just digging into itself really good right now. I'm going to give it one more shot, wrap around my hand a few times. Okay. Well, guys, that thing is not giving. My hand is giving. That drag ain't opening. And that rod holder, neither one's giving. But what I like about this design versus some of the other ones is it's just literally a cradle. If you get a fish, you just pick it up out of there. Like a lot of the other rod holders on the market. Yep, it dug in there pretty good. There we go. A lot of the rod holders on the market, including our pipe design, if you're not careful, because our pipe design will do the same thing. Is, you know, you get excited, you go grab your rod, and then you pull the whole dang rod holder out of the ground. Or these, what I like about this design is It's designed to where you just reach down, pick up your rod right out of the holder. Nothing else moves. See, that ground is soft. I can put that in without hardly any pressure whatsoever. It just don't come out. No matter what you do, it don't come out. Like if you pick up on it, it comes out just like it's supposed to. With any kind of bite whatsoever, that rod ain't coming out of that hole. And that holder ain't coming out of the ground. Powder held up too. Fresh out of the oven.
Yeah, this morning.
So I got one more design that I've been tinkering with that I just kind of want to play with. I got to run inside quick and get a second fishing pole. But a person had reached out to me previously about a 2-rod holder, and what I came up with was not what the guy was looking for, but I've had probably in the last 3 years, I don't know, 4 to 6 people, I guess, talk to me about 2-rod holders. So I'm just like, well, I'll just come up with something. And I have another design in the garage that I'm currently working on. I'm about to go weld that up here in a few minutes, get it finished up so I can get it coated. But I did make a different design with our pipes, and I just kind of wanted to push that thing into the ground too, and just put 2 rods in it and just see what it acts like. I've personally never used a 2-rod holder in my life, so I really, like, I don't know, I just don't like my poles very close together. I know some guys out there make rod holders that you can put 2 or 3 or whatever fishing poles in one holder, and I'm really not into that. I don't like all my stuff that close together, but some people are into that. But I did make one where the poles can be a little bit separate but on the same piece.
Oh, he's gonna go grab a different rod holder real quick. This is our little teeny town, less than 300 people. A lot of abandoned houses. He's gonna go get his 2-rod holder, 2-pole rod holder, whatever you want to call it.
Grab a second rod.
There's the bigger size one where the pipes are spread more apart, and then there's this one that's designed different. The bluish purple one is all welded. The green funky looking one has a bolt in it where you could take the top off. Dang it. He's just experimenting, seeing what else different he can do. I think they're kind of neat looking, but I just won't. I don't know. I like separate rod holders. I might try one of these. I gotta sneeze, sorry. Sorry, guys. Sneezing fit. I do this about 5 times a day.
So again, we're going to play around in the softest dirt that we have around.
That one's probably touching the sidewalk. No, that should all be dirt there because they stole it.
Yeah, they
pulled that up.
Sitting right there.
Yeah. Dave was supposed to move that.
Okay. So now I made these in such a way. Now I got a lack of dirt on that side. But this is another meat hunter. This is the Meat Hunter Extreme. This is the Meat Hunter Big Game. I actually did a little trading for this one. A fella needed some powder coating done. He's had this one for a few years. I'm really not an orange kind of guy. I'm a red, white, and blue guy, or black is my favorite color. But
come on. And want to be outdoors said those look good, Jerry. Well done.
So this is one thing that I was actually wanting to see right here is, like, you get a bite on one, it's going to move the other one. So the rod holder itself is not going to spin because between the angle iron and the little spade that I put on there, there's no way that thing's going to turn. But a bite, I guess if you had enough pressure on this one, it probably wouldn't move it too much, but like that's one thing I really don't care for. That's one of the reasons I made one that's a lot narrower, because I wanted to test it and see how much shake or wiggle there might be. You know, if one pole's getting bit, you can see that other one spins, or that other one jiggles a little bit, which I guess in the grand scheme of things really don't mean nothing. But
Uncle Don says hi.
How's it going, Uncle Don? Thank you for stopping in. But I made 2 different ones. Now this one I made with the pipes on the lower end because with the link thing, if somebody was to actually want one of these, the link thing has a lot to do with shipping. So that one that I made with the pipes up top, I made it to where it bolts together. That way it can be taken apart and make the box smaller to save on shipping price. If I welded it together like that, that is, if I remember right, Janice came up with like an extra $10 in shipping for that extra several inches. And so this one, I made it with the pipes on the downside to where it's shorter, and that saves exponentially on shipping. But I also made this one where they're closer together. I need to go get one that actually has a reel on it so I can see how close those actually are. But this one don't wiggle near as much, which is what I really like.
Well, the wiggle's not too bad.
Now I'm putting some pretty good pressure on this rod, and it's several years old. The guy I got it from used it for a handful of years, so. But that's what these meat hunters are made of. These things are just bad to the bone.
Now the rod holder moved a little bit, but again, we're in super, super soft dirt here.
Yeah,
But it's not spinning, and
but that thing ain't coming out.
uh,
It just pushed a little soft dirt forward on the top end, but it ain't coming out whatsoever. And if that was in solid ground instead of that mushy dirt, that other pole probably wouldn't even move too much unless you got a real serious tug. So overall, I'm going to go get another rod that has, I got a rod in there that has an Abu 7000 on it. This is the widest reel we got. If I remember right, this reel is like 7 inches from here to here. And I'm going to go get that other rod that has an Abu 7000 on it. That's the next biggest reel I got.
I did that. It's chilly out here today. Got down into the 20s last night. I can't wait for like warmer temperatures. And no wind. Still got sticks in our yard from the blizzard. Took out tree branches, power poles, and dropped power lines all over the place. Everybody's still cleaning up from it. Size difference.
So it looks like there's a pin squall and an Abu 7000, and it looks like there's plenty of space between them. So that part I'm pretty happy with. I like this spacing a little better. I just don't like how much that wiggles. It's obviously not going to bend, but I don't like how much it wiggles the other pole. So I think I like the other one better, I think. And I got, on this Mondo and Abu, I got 100-pound reaction tackle on this one. And then I got, I believe, yeah, that's 65 I got on this one. So make sure my drag's tight on both. Stay on there. Yeah, we already know that one's tight because that ain't coming out. Okay, so I got a 7.6 medium heavy Mondo with 100-pound line. I got a a 710 meat hunter, which I'm thinking is a heavy, the 65 pound. We're going to see if we can, that is really loose dirt. We're going to see if we can get it to move. Watch your face in case this line breaks.
Well, the rod holder moved, but that's really soft dirt.
Yeah, but this is the equivalent of probably two 40 to 50 pound fish pulling at the exact same time in really loose soil. Like I was putting some pretty good pressure. You can see them rods stretching. Like I'm trying to break something and it ain't breaking.
Well, don't break the dang poles. Whew. My hand is frozen.
Them poles ain't gonna break.
Now you're gonna hook yourself up.
If I was concerned about one of these poles breaking, they would not be in that office.
Still got 2 rod holders to build and paint. And then he's got another experiment rod holder in the garage that he's got to finish welding up so we can paint it.
Yeah, I was unprepared last weekend. Yep. Well, there's my problem. He said it was making noise like maybe it was dry again.
Yeah, he was unprepared last weekend and ran out of weld wire. So we fixed that and we got supplied back up.
So now, still in good shape. That worked out pretty good. This is a really nice blue. This is my favorite blue that we have. It's a little dark for putting vinyls on, but it's called Illusion Royal. Has a lot of really fine metal flake in it. It looks really good in the sun. And it's a nice, deep, rich color, which is what I like about it. This one is actually supposed to be black, light yellow, and black.
Yeah, we were just fooling around with these colors.
But it didn't quite work as I expected because the black turned green for the most part. Some of it stayed black, but for the most part the black all turned green. So we didn't quite have the desired effect out of it, but it's still kind of neat, I guess. But a bunch of this scrap that I've had laying around the garage for the last couple years. Going through it and just tinkering around. I'll give these things a test out when we go fishing. But I got a feeling I'm probably not going to be as happy with this one as I am with that one. Just because I made it too wide and it wiggles the other pole too much. But we're going to jump off of here, guys. I got to get back at it. Get some stuff done. We got another busy day tomorrow, and I need to get some of this stuff finished up now that we got well wire again. But I appreciate those that stopped in and chatted and said hi with us for a little while. Really appreciate all the support we get from the YouTube guys. So far it's been a really fun adventure and we're enjoying it. But until next time.
Uncle Don said, very nice, Jerry.
God bless and have a great weekend.